Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Again, weirdest taboos around the world.
Harry, some rumors, allegations go around of ancestral relations in the place where you're
about
from.
Sisters.
I didn't say you. I didn't say you. I said in the place where you're from.
What was that about?
Some people might consider that taboo.
Bro, it's the first video of the day. What are you doing? Okay.
We're looking at weirdest taboos around the world.
Fantastic.
Let's see if Guernsey made it. Let's go.
Good lord.
A lot of people breach a taboo in foreign countries just as soon as they enter a person's house. Why? Because they don't take their shoes off. In some countries, such as the UK, it's fine and dandy to just waltz into someone's house with your shoes on.
Is it?
Is it?
Disgraceful behaviour, by
I
the way.
take my shoes off if I go to someone's house.
If you're watching this and you wear shoes on carpeted floors, you're a wrong'un.
I can tell you're a homo. I can tell.
Shoes off at the door.
I think it's common courtesy in the UK. I think it's still. I think you take your shoes off, or you at least ask if I take my shoes off or not.
for sure.
100%.
This is a lie.
Sure, some people might ask if they should take them off, but you won't upset your hosts if you don't. As a general rule of thumb, when you're in Asia, never mind which country, it will be seen as rude if you enter an abode with your shoes on. Your hosts will likely not know it's not a custom in your country, so you will come across as ill-mannered. This show isn't just entertainment. It's a lesson for you that can make global travel that much easier.
Lesson to you to take your fucking shoes off.
In Eastern Europe, it's different. Most countries have a shoes-off policy.
I think I don't think we've been done that. I think every country has a shoe off policy.
I feel like it's potentially more of an English thing to not.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Than anywhere else, I think the English.
Even in Netherlands, bro, shoes off. I don't know why my father never took his shoes off, but that guy was so weird. He never took his shoes or jacket off. Weirdo guy, bro. But like, yeah, just take your damn shoes off, bro. Like, my house is clean. I want to keep it clean.
It's just I ain't got respect for property. Disgraceful beings.
You're asking for it big.
Now for something you really wouldn't have known. In Russia, you should take off your shoes when entering a house, but one other thing we learned about this country is you should also take off your gloves before you shake someone's hand. Apparently it's a sign of disrespect if you don't take them off.
Of course, like, take off your gold ass glove, bro. I don't want to shake that shit.
It makes sense if you think about it. Gloves get dirt on them, while bare hands are kept
do that.
pristine
Yeah,
under the gloves.
They're like hand shoes almost. You could say.
Oh my God.
Unfortunately, I don't think we'll find ourselves in Russia anytime soon. So
No, maybe not.
yeah,
Hand shoes.
Jeez, that's pretty good actually.
Also in Russia, once you've taken off your shoes and gloves,
Hand shoes? Oh, yeah, for Dutch people, we say handschoenen, which means hand shoes. So for me, that's like completely normal. More than gloves.
you still shouldn't shake hands if you are standing in the threshold of a doorway. You're not supposed.
Well, you shouldn't bomb a foreign country either, but they do it anyway. Sorry, never mind. To be fair, I said a way too fair at some point, so don't worry.
Why? A travel company we found said Russians, likely just some Russians, see this as bad luck. Let's say you want to make the best impression in Russia, and so you've brought some flowers with you. Maybe you picked up a dozen roses before you went to the house. That could actually go the wrong way for you, because the word on the street is an even number of flowers are given when the occasion is a sad one, such as a funeral, and for a happy occasion you should
but
go
who's
with an
counting
odd
the
number.
flowers when you
Sounds
hand
a
them
little
over?
superstitious,
Like, if
but
it's a
people
big
all over the
bunch,
world
then what
still
can you do?
embrace superstition. It usually depends on where you are in the country, though.
Is that a thing? What is that? You spit when a black cat walks past you, or what? What's that?
I think that is superstition.
What's the thing? What are you spitting, bro?
Ugh.
It sounds a little
Jeez.
superstitious, but people all over the world still embrace superstition. It usually depends on where
Doesn't
you
say
are
what it
in the
is,
country,
but-
though. Take Thailand, for instance. People who live in swanky neighborhoods in Bangkok might have different beliefs from people who, say, live in a small village in the mountains in northern Thailand. In that country, when you meet new people, you generally say hands off. People why each other, like giving the prayer sign, but you generally don't maul a new person, and you certainly don't kiss strangers on the cheek. This could happen in some parts of Bangkok, though. But in most of Thailand, you just don't touch people very much when you first meet them.
Oh, see, I
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what's my nice happy medium? Fist bumps. I'm big
Yeah.
into fist bumps at the moment. It's just nice, simple,
Yeah.
It's a
not
balance,
misconstrued, not awkward, except for when people grab your fist.
Nothing gets you worse than a... you know that double kiss on the cheek, or even like a single kiss on the cheek. If someone goes for it, I just get like startled.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do
don't know,
panic. I do panic.
It could go horribly wrong very quickly. I just like,
It's a weird, awkward hug.
You will
Yeah, Like first time I went to France with my mother's family, they kissed me and I was like, what? No, on the cheek twice, and I was like, oh, whoa, no way, bro. I don't like physical contact with no one.
Often see younger folks walking past older people with a slightly bent posture. That's because they don't want to loom over them. Remember, in this country, the head is a very important part of the body. You certainly shouldn't grab someone's head if you don't know them very well. This could go down very, very badly. The feet are the lowest part of the body, so you should never point them at people's heads. Rude tourists have been called out in
Okay, fair
Thailand
enough.
for putting their feet up on the backs of others' chairs, sometimes on seats in minibuses. This might not seem like a big deal to you, but it'll make you look like a real pig. Tourists still do it all the time.
Well, that's good to know. It's good to know.
Who does that? Ethan does that sometimes.
They also make out in public, which again is a big taboo in Thailand. Thais save that stuff for the privacy of their own homes. No one will deny you a
No
peck on the
PDA.
cheek at the airport when you say goodbye to your lover, but tongues down throats in the street.
Oh, so you
remind
know, I can
Thais
move to
of the
Thailand.
sweat
I can't
they spent
this.
together during
I'm a big
mating.
fan of all their
In
things.
some parts of the Middle East, you can actually get in trouble for kissing in public. This is what a lawyer in Dubai wrote. Public displays of affection, as well as sexual harassment or randomly addressing women in public places, is liable to be punished by imprisonment or deportation. We're not kidding. In 2009, a British couple served 3 years in prison after being caught kissing in public. After that, they were both deported.
Oh, I remember hearing about this.
Instead of
Yeah.
let's
remember
get a
this as
room.
well.
You might instead hear, go to jail.
3 years, you lot.
That's long.
On a radio show in South Africa called Cape Talk, they had a call in about public displays of affection, aka PDAs. Most people were okay with it.
Wait. Bro's just fondling her. Look at him. He's just rubbing her titty.
You could be rubbing her arm.
No.
We tend to think Northern Europeans and North Americans have fewer taboos. It's true that when visiting, say, Canada or Scotland or the Netherlands, you're likely to have less of a chance of upsetting someone by accident because you breached a local taboo. Still, in those countries, you shouldn't eat right off your knife. This is fine in some nations.
It's like,
Sounds like common sense.
I don't think that's like an anti or
not a
whatever. It's
taboo
not like a
thing.
taboo. I just think like it's a bit weird.
The reason Europeans stopped eating off their knife back in the day was simply that the continent went through what he calls a civilizing process. Knives were what people killed with, not for wielding at the dinner table. Table manners are a
Also,
big
just not
thing all
effective
over
to
Europe.
eat off, really, are they?
Countries,
Like-
you'll also be expected to not rest your elbows on the table. This and not eating from your knife might seem like common sense to many of you, but in many parts of the world it's totally fine to do it. It's the same with slurping your food. Try doing that in most countries and you'll elicit some funny stares. But in China, you'll see and hear people doing it all the time.
Means the food's good.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't like that. It would, don't know.
Where is it? It's over there. Like if you do it, you're
compliment.
enjoying the food. Yeah. It's like-
Yeah.
Me and JJ always enjoying our food. You're a lot of haters.
Yeah, we know. We hear it, bro.
I can't hack it, man. I can't hack it.
The reason why some countries are good with slurping is the noise shows appreciation for the food. In
go.
There we
India
go.
and some other countries in Asia, you'll also see people eating with their right hand only.
looks lame.
This is because the left hand is generally seen as a hand that gets dirty when doing the cleaning, especially cleaning yourself.
Only your
when
left
you've
hand
been to
gets
the bathroom
dirty.
for a poop. In that country, and again, a lot of Asian nations, you don't hog your food as if you think everyone has just one plate. It might feel weird at first, but when you're dining with Asians, the food is often all shareable. Usually just
Yeah,
keeps
see,
on
Simon?
coming, too.
There we go. You'd have a nightmare
Story
over
of
there.
a British guy that went out with a young Southeast Asian woman and her mom and pop. Yeah, that can happen even during the first stages of dating. After all, the parents want to know you're a decent kind of guy. The
He's
parents treated
sweating.
him as the
Him.
norm because they were the elders. But this English
go
dude,
for it.
polite, kept finishing his plate. He'd grown up believing it was rude to leave anything, but the parents kept ordering more. That's because for them it was rude not to leave the table with lots of unfinished dishes on it. This showed they were not stingy.
Wait. It's rude to not. It would be rude to not leave your food.
It's rude to
How
not
does that make
leave the
sense?
table with lots of unfinished dishes on it.
But no, but he's finishing his food.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
that's
so
the
they
problem.
have
Yeah,
they have
filling it.
conflicting.
Because they're like, oh, if you finish your food, oh, let's give you more food. Because then that's the only way they know if you're full. Because if you finish your food, you might not be full.
Okay.
So they're like,
Yeah, that is one stupid thing that I really do hate. Don't waste food. Don't be like that. Fuck you, China.
we keep giving them more
Alright.
food until they don't eat it anymore, and then
I thought you meant it was like it would be rude to not leave a little bit of food afterwards, like leave a little bit extra. No, never mind.
okay.
Oh no, so that makes no sense. But yeah, never mind. I got confused.
Another thing in Asia that you shouldn't do is when you're eating with chopsticks, you shouldn't stick them into the food. It's not only looks a bit
That's fair
ugly,
enough.
but those sticks will look like incense
Who
sticks.
does that?
And that reminds people of how food is offered to the dead. As for how you dress in Asia, you'd think it'd be common sense to know that in formal places you don't wear informal clothes. It's a sign of respect to dress correctly. Yes, it should be obvious, but you wouldn't believe how many people don't do it. For instance, most religious places in Asia, women shouldn't show their bare shoulders. Asia is starting to sound rather strict.
I don't think you'd enjoy Asia, Harry.
I don't know. I think maybe I would. I think I would. I just had to learn it all first because they seem quite respectful over there.
We're talking about Spain. Shouldn't stretch or yawn in public. According to a website giving advice
Says
on
who?
business in Spain, it is considered vulgar. Ouch.
How?
I guess if you're like doing a massive like, it's a bit like
Yeah, but
grim,
stretching.
but yeah, stretching's alright.
The French, like many European cultures, tend not to ask personal questions when in conversation with someone they just met. You shouldn't ask about age, their job, money, or marriage. This might seem obvious to a lot of you, but again, head over to Asia. These kinds of questions will hit you from all sides. People there just want to get to know you, so they know your social status. But in France, those kind of questions are generally taboo.
That's interesting.
It's also taboo in France to flaunt your
Yeah.
wealth in conversation. So unlike in some Asian nations where it's fine
just
to
flexing
your
on
social standing, the French might think you're crass. For
Send
trying to look
KSI
rich.
to France.
Now let's not go hands. As for the French, when someone makes the zero signal with their finger and thumb, it can mean worthless. For Americans, it can mean the opposite. It can tell you something and it's just A-okay.
Wasn't the MK sign like really offensive? Didn't it become
Yeah,
offensive?
people saying it's like the devil number or some shit. I can't remember.
Oh,
There's loads
It
of
looks
other
like
things.
a 6, I guess, yeah.
yeah. What the heck?
As for getting yourself in big trouble, give someone the V sign in certain nations. It's thought this sign was an insult with the palm facing inwards
Well,
originated
no, because
in Britain.
if you do a
It means
forward
the
V, it's
same
fine, but a
as
backward
when
V is
the
not. It's
Americans use the
tricky.
middle finger. But in Britain, as well as New Zealand, Ireland, India, and Australia, it's a pretty harsh insult and could get you into some serious trouble.
Depends which way you do it.
Is it just me or is hand swearing kind of gone out of fashion? I feel like you don't see it as much.
You
What's
see
the
when
la-
you're driving.
Yeah, that's the only
But
time.
I
That's
couldn't-
the only time I can think of
Driving
people.
and football stadiums.
Oh yeah. True,
Oh,
true,
yeah.
true. Still lives
But you
there.
wouldn't really, you wouldn't, in the street, you wouldn't go up to someone like fair face, like, just wouldn't really work. But we should bring it back, you know. I quite like it. It's a bit more harmless, I think.
We should try and bring it back without mentioning it to the guys. We should just start, or us three,
That's fair
just
enough.
do more Simon videos.
I'm
Just
down,
start
I'm down,
swearing
I'm
with
down.
our hands and just
You talk,
see
Josh
if
and
anyone
Sam are going to
realises.
react to this and they're going to know they're going to be in on it.
They don't react to Simon react, surely not.
Not yet, they don't, but they will soon.
It's the same with the thumbs up gesture. In some countries, it tells someone the job has been done well, but it denotes an offense in other nations.
In what countries are thumbs
I'm
up
just
rude?
saying, thumbs up here is only ever used sarcastically. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's great, mate.
About to
Yeah,
say.
nice one.
Nice one,
Thumbs
fella.
up.
Taking the piss in a photo with the two, yeah. But what, you don't think it could be offensive?
Middle East, sticking your thumb up like that can mean the same as giving someone the bird. That's why when you're hitchhiking in a country
Oh,
such
no.
as Israel, you'd be a lot better holding out your hand with your thumb pointing downward.
Note that down for Sidemen abandoning Israel, boys. No thumbs up.
We haven't talked about South America much, so now let's head in that direction. In Brazil, it's supposed to be okay to be a little bit late when you have an appointment with someone, at least when it's an informal occasion. Like many countries in the world, you don't have to arrive somewhere right on the dot.
No yellow
This
cards
can
in Brazil.
infuriate expats who've moved to a country where punctuality isn't taken all that seriously. Apparently, most punctual countries in the world are Switzerland and Germany.
No, Nigeria, why?
Brazil and China don't have so many demands on punctuality. Sticking with Brazil, if you're heavily mocking in conversation, it might not go down too well. Tearing into people or being really sarcastic might just be a natural part of life in countries such as the US and the UK, but Brazilians, we are told, prefer a more lighthearted approach.
Fuck, you're getting bagged in Brazil, bro.
Oh no. Yeah, we're finished.
As for tipping, that's done kind of religiously in the USA, but if you tip in Japan, you might be considered rude.
That's
It's like
crazy.
offering charity to someone who thinks they
Yeah.
don't need it. You also don't generally tip in most small restaurants or cafes in non-Western countries, especially if you're eating street food or paying for a haircut or a taxi. Then again, in some countries where people don't generally tip, it might be different if they're staying at a plush hotel or eating at an expensive restaurant. For instance, in Cambodia or Vietnam, there isn't much of a tipping culture until posh restaurants catering to tourists and wealthy locals opened up.
Oh, that's a shame. See, I feel like the money should be going to the local people if you're going to tip.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but that is what it is.
You should probably just make sure you know the rules concerning greeting, eating, and touching people. You also should hold back on being loud, kissing in public, and cursing, but that should be obvious. Now you need to
the
watch
basics.
weirdest sex customs around
Yeah.
the world, or how
Do we?
American behavior is
Do we?
considered rude. in
I
other
feel like we
countries.
actually
now we have to
do.
watch
I feel like we actually do need to watch that. That'll be coming up next time. Sidemen React.
Yeah, so yeah, that was one annoying thing in America, you know, the tipping culture. I hate that shit so much, bro. Bye.